Think. Imagination.
It's a multi-million-dollar jewel-of a tournament. The 5 Diamond World Poker Classic is next, here on the World Poker Tour.
The World Poker Tour is a series of 17 international poker tournaments featuring the biggest games, the greatest players, and the largest payouts on the planet. In Las Vegas, 6 players, $8 million. It's the big game at Bellagio tonight on the World Poker Tour.
Hi everyone, welcome to the World Poker Tour. We are in Las Vegas at the home of high-stakes poker for Bellagio's 5 Diamond World Poker Classic.
Mike, it is good to be back at Bellagio, the 5 Diamond, one of the true gems on the tour. And last year, remember, we saw Daniel Negreanu, who was the WPT Player of the Year. He was the jewel thief who ran off and took all the cash and this prestigious title.
Well, tonight's winner may have a little tougher time than Daniel did last year, but the win is even sweeter tonight, Vince. A cool $2 million for our champion.
It is big money. It's a tough way to make an easy living. These 6 players had to beat out 549 other players who all put up $15,000 each to take a shot at this tremendous $8 million prize pool.
We've got it all here tonight, Vince. High rollers, high stakes, high excitement, and what a final table lineup we've got. Starting out in 6th chip position with $1.7 million in chips is Patrick Antonius. Patrick is the young phenom from Finland. This is the guy that all the European players are talking about. Vince, it's going to be fun to watch him tonight.
Yes, it is.
Starting out in 5th chip position is the man. He's a former WPT champion, a 2-time world champion, a member of the Poker Hall of Fame. That's right, Doyle Bronson, the godfather of poker, has battled his way back to yet another WPT final table at 72 years young. That is amazing.
Okay, moving over to 4th in chips with $2.5 million. Put the kids to bed, ladies and gentlemen, because the Unabomber's back. That's right, Phil Locke, another former WPT champion. What a player. He is so entertaining. Always interesting to watch him play. Moving over to 3rd chip position is 26-year-old Renee Peterson from Denmark. Renee got into the tournament on a $100 satellite. So that would be truly amazing if he won this thing, turning his $100 into $2 million, Mike.
Oof, what a parlay. In 2nd chip position with $3.5 million in chips is Daryl Dickin from Waterloo, Iowa. Now, Daryl's won a lot of tournaments in the online world. Tonight, we're going to see if he's got what it takes to win a live tournament against these kind of players.
All right, our chip leader right now with $3.6 million in chips is JJ Liu from Palo Alto, California. JJ is making WPT history tonight, being the first woman to come to a WPT final table as chip leader. She could also be the first woman to win a WPT title.
Vince, JJ's an aggressive player. She's got the kind of style that wins titles. We shall see. It's going to be fun tonight.
All right, 6 eager players ready to go. Let's go down to the felt. Let's talk about the structure. The blinds will be 25 and 50,000. That's a lot of bread.
Well, speaking of bread, Vince, let's talk about the prize money. Over $8 million in the prize pool here. The winner's going to take home over $2 million. The runner-up over $1 million. Big bucks at stake tonight.
Let's take a look at the first hand. It's going down to Patrick Antonius.
He is the buzz of this tournament around here, I can tell you. Very aggressive player, good-looking young Finn, but he lays this hand down.
As does Renee. And now it's around to our chip leader, JJ Liu, who's got King Jack of clubs.
She just came from the Easter parade, doesn't it, Vince?
Yes, that's true. A little Hello Dolly going on there.
Now she makes it 150,000 to go.
And now it's on Phil Locke, the Unabomber, who has picked up a hand. He has ace-5 of clubs. Very tempting with the button in front.
He's got $2.5 million worth of chips, and he's fumbling with them right now. See how he's going to play this ace-5. He's going to make the call.
Doyle Bronson with 3 deuce chucks it. And Darryl with a 7-3 says no mas. So two-way action. JJ versus the Unabomber, Phil Lock.
Here comes the flop. Ooh, the flop comes king 10-3 with 2 clubs. We could see some fireworks early on here. JJ has flopped the top pair in the flush draw. Phil Lock has flopped the nut flush draw. JJ has bet 175,000.
Phil Lock, Unabomber, looking at an absolute cinch, counting up his chips. Does he make a move here and go over the top, or do you play a conservative? You're certainly not going to lay this down.
Well, many players do play this hand aggressively and re-raise, trying to win the pot right here.
He's just going to call it.
Well, taking the conservative approach early on here.
Here we go with the turn. Exciting first hand here at Bellagio.
Well, the queen of diamonds comes off. Now this gives JJ an open-end straight draw to go along with the 2 kings and flush draw. It also gives Phil Lock an ace-high straight draw.
Oh, in.
Oh, and she goes all in with it.
She is not fooling around.
Are you all in?
Yes.
JJ has the kind of hand that even if she's beat, for example, if Phil had 2 pair of 3 of a kind now, she has a lot of outs she could win the pot with the open-end straight draw and the flush draw, but she has put undue pressure here on Phil Lock.
You are a set flopping monstrous, aren't you? Or do you have ace jack of clubs?
No, Phil's head is in a vice right here.
Hard to call $2 million on a drawing hand there, and Phil Lock does lay it down.
Yeah, he does.
Well, look at this, Vince. He's immediately going to the bribe here. He's getting out cash to try to pay JJ to show her cards, and she's not doing it good for her.
Watch TV, honey.
And she's telling me I have to wait for the TV show.
Oh, man. Now, look at this. We get to see it, of course. The Wonder Cam coming out. Look at this. He hit a jack. He would have had it straight. So if he'd have played it differently on the flop and got aggressive with it, he'd have been the chip leader at this point.
Well, it's a good thing JJ made a big bet at that pot, or she'd have doubled up Phil Lock on hand number 1, that's for sure.
I enjoy to beat all the boys. So that's how I feel. I want to spank them, but...
Well, our chip leader, JJ Liu, off to a good start by playing aggressively. And Vince, remember, we've had 2 other women who had good shots to win a WPT title this season, Kathy Liebert and Stacey Madison. But I'll tell you, it's not as good a shot as JJ's got here tonight.
She is a mother of 2. She's 40 years old from Palo Alto. What a player. Renee Peterson throws away a 10-5.
Back around to JJ. She lays her hand down.
And now Phil Lock, the Unabomber, with ace-6 and an opportunity, perhaps.
He makes it 135,000 to go.
Doyle quickly out. Daryl Dickens now with 5-4 offsuit. Can't play it.
Now we're around to Patrick Antonius from Finland. He looks down at 2 deuces. He's got 50,000 in the pot already. Cost him 85,000 more to call.
A pair of ducks.
Well, small pairs are what players like to play for smallish amounts in hopes that you flop a set where you might bust your opponent.
He makes this call.
And he's calling the 85,000.
We got the Finn against the Unabomber. Nice pot developing. Here's the flop.
Well, flop comes king, queen, 4 with 2 hearts. No help to either player.
No. Action's going to be on the Finn. Patrick first. The former male model, a tennis coach, and now the 2005 Scandinavian poker champion. Well, he didn't hit on this flop, but here he goes with a bet here.
Wow, leading right out into the raising player.
$200,000, and the Unabomber has to lay it down.
The play was taken away from him by Patrick there because Patrick let out and bet. Most people, Vince, would check in that spot into a razor before the flop when 2 big cards came out there. Not Patrick. He led right out and picked up the pot by doing so.
It goes to show you, to be a great poker player, you have to be creative. He took a shot at this, even though his pair of deuces, of course, did not hit. Just well-timed. Well, we have 6 fantastic players here at Bellagio. One of them is going to take home over $2 million. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more on the World Poker Tour.
People expect that I'm going to be like running around the table because I ran around the table once. I'm all about having fun at the poker table, but when you're shooting for $2 million, it's completely a whole new ball of wax.
All right, I'm going to be asking you a series of questions, and I'd like you to answer me very truthfully. Are you a woman?
Of course I'm a woman.
He's telling the truth. He really is a woman.
Good at bluffing? Play poker online at partypoker.net. It's fun, it's free, it's the world's largest poker school.
So, what are you doing later?
Building a shed.
These days, it's out with the old, in with the new. True, it didn't have a water dispenser or an ice maker. What it does have is plenty of room for what's really important. Here's to the beer fridge.
Cotland Gardner is a real Geico customer, not an actor. So to help tell her story, we hired an actor.
My husband totaled our new SUV on my birthday.
But you know, I still love him.
Less than 6 hours after the accident, the Geico claim adjuster was at my house.
Well, I put on some tangerine lip gloss and answered the door.
Geico service turned out to be the best birthday present I could ever want.
I was one lucky woman.
Geico. Real service, real savings.
From a past paved in victory comes a future filled with glory. Can-Am, the name is back, but the passion never left. I Can-Am. Can you?
Want more travel in your life? Oh, sorry. Well, now you can download your favorite Travel Channel shows, including Passport to Europe, on iTunes.
In my day, we didn't have protein bars. I ate raw meat.
Bob St. Clair, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Then again, we didn't have face masks either. I lost 5 feet blocking a punt.
We could use a big guy like you.
We've got big guys. Jenny, Alan. Our line's going to be tough this year. I'll see you at the game.
$16, $74, $48, $67, $22, $78.
Stupid fast. That's Comcast high-speed internet. Sign up for Comcast high-speed internet today and get this amazing offer. At stupidly quick speeds, it's way faster than DSL and dial-up. Sign up today and start doing more things online faster. Just call 1-800-COMCAST. Comcast high-speed internet. It's Comcastic.
You look around, you don't see any guys 72 years old playing poker at my level. And so it gets me all fired up that I want to show these young kids I can still hang in there with them.
Okay, welcome back. You're watching the World Poker Tour. I'm Vince Van Patten alongside Mike Sexton. We're at the 5 Diamond World Poker Classic. 6 players remaining. And don't forget, the winner's going to take home over $2 million.
And that winner could be a lady. JJ Liu, the current chip leader with over $4 million in chips. Poker history could be made here tonight.
We got living legend Doyle Bronson playing right next to the Unabomber Phil Locke.
Action's going to be on JJ Liu, our chip leader.
She throws away 9-6 very quickly. Unabomber throws away his 10-4.
Around to Doyle Bronson. Very aggressive player. Looks down at Queen 7 of hearts, but he's reaching for chips. And yes, he's going to raise it. Makes it $175,000 to go.
Oh, the old cowboy seeing an opportunity, and now it's on Daryl Dickin. He lays down his king deuce.
Round to Patrick Antonius in the small blind, and look at this, Vince.
Oh, boy.
He's picked up 2 aces in the small blind.
Got the mother of all poker hands, pair of aces. Now, how do you play it?
Well, he may be up against the godfather of poker. Right now, he has the godfather of all hands, the 2 aces.
Well, you want to lasso the cowboy the best that you can. Do you raise now, or do you play it slow? The young man from Helsinki plays nice and patient, doesn't rush into things.
And he just calls, Vince. He's not re-raising with two aces here.
Renee quickly going out, so two-way action. Will this play backfire?
Well, we shall see. Doyle with the queen seven of hearts. Patrick with the two aces. Here comes the flop. The flop is jack 10-3. No help to either player. And action on Patrick. He quickly checks the two aces.
Oh, he is digging the hole, putting the twigs over it, waiting for the sucker to fall in. Will it be Doyle?
Doyle's a very aggressive player. Normally, he raises before the flop. He's going to bet on the flop, especially if his opponent checks to him. And that's what's happening here, Vince. He's betting 400,000.
I'm all in.
Oh, and there goes the snap over the top, all in. Now he doesn't want to take any chances, and of course Doyle didn't hit anything on that flop. So Doyle Bronson, the cowboy, gets his foot caught up in the stirrup, gets dragged there a little bit.
Well, Vince, you have to give Patrick credit for gambling there, slow playing two aces before the flop. It earned him an extra 400,000 by doing so. Doyle has told me that Patrick has played him very tough for the last day or two. He really admires how aggressive this kid is. This guy has some game. Keep your eye on him.
All right, back down on the table on Phil Lock. Under the hood, he looks down to King 8 of diamonds. He's going to toss it. Doyle going out.
Around to Daryl Dickin. Now Daryl's picked up the speed limit. He's got 2 5s, and he makes it 150,000 to go with him.
Right into the fin. Let's take a look at the WPT Hole Cam brought to you by Budweiser. Look at this. He's got another good hand. A pair of 10s wired up.
Well, he's in position. He has a good hand. Let's see how he's going to play it.
Now, the guy right before you raises. You go over the top with this, or maybe not. Daryl, kind of a conservative player. Do you get fancy with it?
Well, Daryl, 28-year-old poker pro, has been living at Bellagio for quite a while, playing in the poker room here on a regular basis. Might call this his home court.
And Patrick just going to call it.
Oh, just calling with these big hands here.
Renee out with ace-9, as is JJ Liu. So two-way action, 2 wired pairs.
Between Daryl and Patrick.
Daryl's got the 2 5s. Patrick with the 2 10s. The flop comes 8-6-3.
Daryl Dickin with his pair of 5s. He raised before the flop, and look at this. He looks like he's getting more chips out here.
Well, he's hoping his opponent has something like King Queen here, and a bet will take this pot down.
And he's going to make a bet of 225,000. We know Patrick has a nice overpair, pair of 10s.
This is a good flop for you when you're holding 2 10s, 3 undercards, as we say.
All in.
And again, he's going all in, Vince.
And Daryl, just like that, says, I'm out. You got me.
So for the second time in a row, he slow played a good hand before the flop and then moved all in on the flop when his opponent bet. And Patrick picks up yet another pot.
I think I'm a bit crazy. Like, I don't care that much. I don't fear at all. I don't fear anyone.
Well, he's certainly on the right move. He's picked up well over $1 million so far at this final table.
Back on Patrick, he folds his hand. Renee out. JJ with 9-4, can't play it.
Round to Phil Lock on the button. He looks down at ace-9 offsuit. It's a hand that would be favored against 2 blind hands. He's going to raise it. Makes it 125,000 to go.
And Doyle Bronson, next in line, throws away his queen 7.
Now Daryl Dickin, kid from Iowa. He's got the suited connector, the 9-8 of spade. He makes the call.
So the Unabomber getting some action. Here comes the flop, and he picks off an ace there.
Daryl checks.
And Phil is going to play this slow. He checks his pair of aces.
Wow.
He's going to slow play it.
Now the 7 of spade comes off. Look at this card. It gives Daryl an open-end straight draw and a flush draw, and he checks.
Big drawing hand, but now Phil's going to bet his aces, finally.
And he bets 150,000.
Is it even legal to bet that amount? It's awfully small, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Daryl says that's a pretty small bet. Over 300,000 in the pot.
I call.
Oh, and how he's going to call it. It doesn't go over the top. A lot of players might have taken a shot and raised with that. No, here comes the river.
Well, the king of hearts comes off. Now, the only way Daryl can win this pot is to bet at it, but he checks. By checking, he just essentially surrenders.
The old king of hearts trick on the river.
Phil is so relieved. And look at this. He's going to go into the soccer game saying that you hit a pair of kings.
I'm either beating you or you're beating me right at this very juncture.
You got to write this stuff down, folks.
Boy, I'll tell you.
Words of wisdom by Phil Locke.
That's a real gem there, isn't it, Vince?
If I knew which side of the coin I was on, my decision would be really easy. I just check. I guess I don't
He's going to check it, though.
Well, he's just going to check it. He's going to win the pot with 2 aces.
Ace-9, so Phil has
I love it. Daryl's trying to crowbar me into nothingness. I love it.
Well, there you go. He's happy. He's picked up his first pot here tonight. Look at
Here he is. He's getting up.
I love that.
He's giving the back rub.
Now, if you just lost a pot, you like a guy rubbing you all over like that,
And
man?
he's touching cards.
Almost there. Thank you for
Well,
the king
folks,
of
you can't help yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you for the king of hearts.
Phil, it wasn't that big a pot, my man. Don't get that excited here.
Let him get excited. It's the first pot he's won tonight.
Cards I can't win.
We're coming back. Exciting action. You get to see the Unabomber. We're coming back in just a moment. Stay with us.
All right, I'm going to be asking you a series of questions, and I'd like you to answer me very truthfully. Are you a woman?
Of course I'm a woman.
He's telling the truth. He really is a woman.
Good at bluffing? Play poker online at partypoker.net. It's fun, it's free, it's the world's largest poker school.
So, what are you doing later?
Building a shed.
There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's World MasterCard, the card that won't hold you back.
Play the Shell million-gallon giveaway and get your needle moving in the right direction. Drop in now for a free million-gallon giveaway game piece at participating Shell locations, and you could win free Shell gasoline for life or thousands of other great prizes.
These days, it's out with the old, in with the new. True, it didn't have a water dispenser or an ice maker. What it does have is plenty of room for what's really important. Here's to the beer fridge.
一想到我的国家，您就会想到农民和工人，但这一切都在变化。我闲暇时会玩一些电子游戏。 希望有一天能够参军，但是目前这里是我受训的地方。There is more to my home than meets the eye. Let me show you the real China.
5 years, 30 countries. Let's all discover the world, one person at a time. Discovery Atlas. Journey begins Sunday, October 1st at 9 on the Discovery Channel.
Visit your Bay Area Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer.
Let's go out and re-elect President George W. Bush.
130,000 American troops remain in Iraq under George W. Bush.
George W. Bush.
Gasoline prices are up 135% under George W. Bush.
George W. Bush.
Our national debt is up $3 trillion under George W. Bush.
Let's go out and re-elect President George W. Bush.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's for George W. Bush. Is he for you?
Bobby Baldwin is a world champion poker player. This room is named after him for all of his friends to come in and play high-limit poker. Doyle Bronson, Gus Hansen, Jennifer Harmon, Phil Ivey.
Bobby's room is the best poker room in the world, especially for the high-limit player because we have our privacy. It's like a little fraternity in there.
There's no place to play like here.
Bobby's room was the best things that Bellagio did for us.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We're at the Fontana Lounge at Bellagio for the 5-Diamond World Poker Classic. And Vince, it could turn out to be just that, a classic.
The winner's going to take home over $2 million. We are having fun in the Fontana Lounge. Thanks to the man that cackles the loudest, Mr. Phil Locke over there.
Well, action's going to be on Phil Locke here.
He's got a 5 deuce this time. He's gone out. Doyle quickly folding.
See the frustration on Doyle's face, not catching any cards.
To Daryl Dickin, who has ace-jack.
There it is.
And he says he's going to raise with his ace-jack.
Well, makes it $150,000 to go.
The Finn quickly folds his hand.
Renee gets out of the way, around to JJ, and she looks down at a nice hand. King, queen of diamonds in the big blind.
The nice suited king, queen.
And she's going to make the call. So these are the 2 chip leaders going at it here. King, queen for JJ, ace-jack for Daryl, and the flop comes 7-5 deuce with 2 spades. No help for either player.
First one to act is JJ. She's going to boldly bet this.
Bets $200,000.
JJ. You have ace queen?
Into Daryl Dickin.
Well, he's asking her questions.
Can't beat ace queen. Should I call anyway?
Yes, you should call anyway, Daryl, but when you ask those kind of questions, we know you're not. He lays it down, and JJ picks up the pot.
We've got a thief in the midst here. JJ Liu, so impressive. She just vandalized Daryl Dickin.
JJ Liu is the 6th woman to make a WPT final table, but she hopes to be the first to win one. Being the only woman at the table, JJ knows she has to play more than just her cards.
I think it's some kind of advantage for women to play poker because most of men, they think a woman can play.
JJ is an enigma, I think. She don't seem to have a lot of knowledge about the game.
Yeah, I have never played poker before.
I think she's not capable to steal the pots like other people on this table.
Not only does JJ plan on beating the boys, she plans on having fun doing it.
Yeah, I always have fun. You just have to be happy. Don't worry. Be happy.
The very lovely JJ Liu. What a player. Very stylish here this evening. Taking all the money down.
Could be the first woman in the history of the World Poker Tour to capture a title.
Action's going to be on JJ. She quickly goes out. Now Phil Locke with 9-7 offsuit.
Well, the former WPT champion folds.
Doyle is out. Daryl Dickin with the button. He's got a 7-4 of spades. It's not going to deter him, it looks like.
I'm not going to let the last thing happen again.
And he's on the button, in position, as we say. He's going to raise it. Makes it $150,000 to go.
Right behind him in the small blind, the man from Finland. Daryl's old nemesis, Patrick Antonius, has a jack-8 of spades, and he's contemplating this.
That's going to cost him another $125,000 to call. Perhaps he's thinking about coming over the top. Nope, he does make the call.
And Renee quickly folding. What else is new? So 2-way action. Here's the flop.
Flop comes Jack 10-10. Patrick has flopped the top pair. He's got the 2 jacks and now has the best hand.
And he is going to check it. He's going to trap a little bit. Looks like the hand over his mouth, like he's almost whispering to his friend Daryl. I don't know what that's about.
That is his style, Vince. Patrick always does play with his hand up on his face in the thinker pose or some kind of pose like this. Meantime, Daryl's bet $250,000 on a 7 high here.
Yeah, he's going to push with absolute garbage here.
So this guy from Iowa is not afraid to put the corn in the pot.
No, Patrick will hit his pair of jacks. He's got jacks and 10s, continuing his whispering pose. Now he checked it to trap him. He's got his man from Iowa sitting pretty there.
He's going to make the call. So he calls $250,000.
Yeah, he makes an okie dokie. I guess I'll play call.
Daryl just took a big swallow right there. He didn't like that.
Oh, it is just a horror show when you're trying to bluff and someone makes a call.
What you got?
So off we go to the turn. Well, a 10 comes on the turn. This gives Patrick a full house, 10's full of jacks, and he checks again.
Oh, this guy's a male model, but he should be an actor because this is a performance to watch.
And Daryl's going to hang himself, it looks like. He's betting $350,000.
Now you got to give him bonus points for this. He has nerve.
Well, Vince, what he's hoping was that his opponent had some type of straight draw or a flush draw, and now will get out when the third 10 comes on the board. Unfortunately for him, his opponent has a jack in his hand, meaning he's got a full house.
Well, he's got absolute caca here. Daryl Dickin betting away anyway.
Now, how does Patrick want to play his full house now? There are a couple hands that could beat him. The fourth 10 would beat him, or if his opponent had aces, kings, queens, or jacks in his hand. But still, you're never going to get away from this hand, this spot. Again, he just calls. He does not raise with the full house.
To the horror of Daryl Dickin.
There's no card he can catch to escape this pot other than a fourth 10, where they'd get a tie.
Believe me, he's feeling dead inside.
The ace of diamonds comes off. This is not really the kind of card that Patrick wants to see come up at the river, because if his opponent had an ace now, he would be beat. Oh no, Patrick is checked and called all the way down. He may be wondering, you know, if my opponent has a jack, maybe if I bet here, I can take this pot away. He's leading out and betting into this pot.
Well, I bet $600,000.
Certainly, if his opponent had an ace, he knows he's going to get called here. Well, Daryl lays his hand down.
That's a complete disaster for Daryl Dickin, who you can't say didn't get credit for trying.
Nice hand.
Well, some people would consider that a unique bet by Patrick on the river there. You'd almost want to check when an overcard came out and hope your opponent didn't have it, but in the meantime, Patrick is stacking up more chips. He is moving in the right direction, Vince, no question about it. Everything going his way so far.
You're watching the $8 million Bellagio 5-Diamond World Poker Classic here on the World Poker Tour. Don't go away.
On the next Passport to Europe,
Samantha uncovers a hidden Venice.
This place is fabulous. So, typical Venetian. Yes.
Then keeps cool in Spain.
You have to show me how to do that little flick. Oh, see.
Back-to-back episodes of Passport to Europe. Thursday starting at 8. Only on the Travel Channel.
What happened to the car, honey?
The same thing again.
Meteor?
Meteor. I was at a stoplight. Whoosh, bang, right on the hood. It misses Mars, it misses the moon, it hits my car.
Good at bluffing? Play poker online at partypoker.net. It's fun, it's free, it's the world's largest poker school.
So I get football 24/7 with Dish Network.
24/7.
Come on, man, you gotta feel it. I feel it. No, you have got to feel it. All right.
You're getting games every night of the week.
Okay.
It's about half the price of digital cable.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, wait a minute. Let's get the lawnmower.
Get football 24/7 and games every night of the week. Just $24.99 a month for 10 months. Dish Network. Better TV for all.
Oh, Bonnie, about the...
Oh, the email, yeah, I got it.
No, about...
The stapler. I haven't seen it, but I would check in the mail.
No. About the conference. I've decided...
That I'm going? That's great. Thank you, sir. I appreciate...
Actually, Jill's going. I'm sorry, Bonnie.
No,
it's just that...
Jill is taller.
No,
she... knows her way around Cleveland.
No, she...
Drive a stick? I can learn.
Jill doesn't finish other people's...
Sandwiches. I can't believe you told him.
They chose you for a reason, and you chose Embassy Suites for a reason. Like our spacious 2 rooms. Embassy Suites Hotels.
What would you do on a $50,000 Expedia Dream Vacation? Want a chance to win a $50,000 Ultimate Dream Vacation? Enter now at ExpediaGiveaway.com. Other prizes include trips to our top destinations, digital cameras, and more. Plus, find great deals during our 10th anniversary sale. Enter for a chance to win the trip of a lifetime. Expedia.com.
I can't believe I spent $100 filling my gas tank.
Honey, I think you have gas problems.
Yeah, thanks. I'll be right back. Gosh, what am I going to do about my gas problem?
Hey, you've definitely got gas problems. At Bob Lewis Volkswagen, we can relate.
Check out our 30-plus MPG Jetta, Passat, GTI, and Beetle. Now available with 0% financing. Now that's enough to relieve anyone's gas pains.
Finally, relief. Thanks, Steve.
16, 74, 48, 67, 22, 78.
Stupid fast. That's Comcast high-speed internet. Sign up for Comcast high-speed internet today and get this amazing offer. At stupidly quick speeds, it's way faster than DSL and dial-up. Sign up today and start doing more things online faster. Just call 1-800-COMCAST. Comcast high-speed internet. It's Comcastic.
Welcome back. You're watching the World Poker Tour. We are at the 5 Diamond World Poker Classic. 6 players remain.
Currently, our chip leader is still JJ Liu, the lady at the table. She's got about 4.8 million in chips. But in second place now is the young phenom from Finland, Patrick Antonius. He started this final table in last chip position. He is now in second place.
Okay, and the antes are going up to 10,000. Blinds being 40 and 80. And it's on our friend from Iowa, Daryl Dickin, who quickly folds his hand.
And look at this. Patrick has picked up 2 aces again, Vince. What a card rack this guy is here.
Oh, he has picked up the Moby Dick. 2 aces.
No wonder he's moving up on the ladder. Now look how methodical and slow and unexcited he seems right now.
Well, you know he is yodeling underneath. You get the aces. It's just a beautiful thing.
Well, he's going to bet 200,000. Not a big raise.
Renee out. Chip leader JJ going out.
Round to Phil Locke in the small blind. He peeks down at King 3 offsuit.
The hooded man. He caps his cards. Yeah.
Because of the WPT hole cam brought to you by Budweiser, we can see that this would not be the time for the Unabomber to make a move at a pot.
Does he want to stick around here?
And they better be real careful right here. Oh, no. Phil is doing it. He is going all in right here.
He's trying to make a play.
Well, Doyle gives sort of a grin because he had King 10 of clubs. Probably like to see a flop.
I call.
Oh, of course you're going to call. You got the monster hand.
Well, Phil Locke is not going to like this.
Oh, boy.
It's 2 aces for Patrick at King 3 offsuit for Phil Locke. And right now,
you got a king?
The Flying Finn about a 90% favorite to win this pot.
This time.
Phil has just stepped in it.
It's going to be a long while before I get to another final table.
Well, he stepped in it without his shoes on. He's putting them back on now, Vince. He thinks he's heading back out of here in a spaceship. And chances are that's what's going to happen. Well, not yet. Flop comes King Jack 10, so he's flopped a pair of kings.
Yes, he has. If anyone can get lucky, this man can.
Well, this would be a huge outdraw. Patrick is learning it's never easy, even when you've got 2 aces. He's got to dodge a king or a 3.
Phil Locke in very grave condition at this point. He needs some luck. Here comes the turn card.
Oh, it's an ace. Patrick has made 3 aces. He can't lose the pot, but if a queen comes off, it would be a split pot. They would both have an ace-high straight.
I need a queen.
Oh, Phil is wheezing the death rattle.
Leave you out of hand.
The Unabomber needs some luck. Otherwise, it is back to the lean-to.
He's got to catch a queen. Doesn't happen. That's going to do it for Phil Locke.
Good luck.
Always entertaining, but you know, Vince, you just have to say he made a move at the wrong time here. No doubt about that.
Well, he is always a great person to watch. The kooky, the eccentric, the charismatic Phil Locke has to say goodbye. Our 6th place finisher. He's going to pick up $160,000 as he walks away.
Well, a monster pot right there for Patrick Antonius. He is now our chip leader with nearly $6 million in chips.
That is a perfect example of what happens when you make a move against a guy with aces or kings. They will call, and 80 to 90% of the time they will crush you, and that is what happened. Sure, yeah, 2 million, 1 million would have been sweet, but 160,000 is sweet too. And I'm looking forward to having another shot, and for the next time I make a move like that, for him not to have aces or kings.
Down to 5 players. Battling for this huge prize pool. One of the biggest in poker history, by the way. Winner's going to take home over $2 million.
Well, I don't think we've ever had a guy come into the final table on the short stack, take a title. Patrick Antonius now is the chip leader at this final table.
Action is going to be on our man Patrick.
Patrick's going to start it
This
off.
time, he has queen 5. He's going to fold it. Renee going out. Former chip leader JJ Liu goes out.
JJ's out. It's up to the blind.
Well, here goes Doyle. He's getting all his money in there. He's got big slick.
110,000.
I didn't see that coming.
815,000. Now Daryl Dickens got ace jack.
I call.
And he's calling.
Yes, he does.
Well, Doyle's going to love this. He's got ace king. His opponent's got ace jack.
He's up against ace jack.
Well, Doyle breaks into a grin. He knows he's a 70% favorite to win this pot.
Well, Doyle has been very patient so far tonight. Finally picks up a hand, and he's a nice size favorite.
Over 1.6 million in this pot. The crowd holding their breath because they don't want Doyle to go anywhere. We could have back-to-back WPT champions hit the door if Doyle was eliminated here.
That is a scary flop.
Well, it's come 10-9-7. This gives Daryl a straight draw, meaning Daryl can win this pot if an 8 comes up or take the lead if a jack comes up.
Well, Daryl Dickens from Iowa could be the spoiler here. He can knock out the legend on one card. Here it comes. No, not this time.
Well, a 5 comes on the turn. So going into the river, Daryl must catch a jack or an 8.
Is there justice for Doyle Bronson? We will see.
Well, a deuce comes off. So Doyle Bronson taking down that pot. There you see his wife, Louise. He's been married 44 years, Vince.
You talk about going all in.
Nice hand, Mr. Brunson.
A big smile by Doyle Bronson. This is getting good. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more action in just a moment.
What happened to the car, honey?
The same thing again.
Meteor?
Meteor. I was at a stoplight. Whoosh, bang, right on the hood. It misses Mars, it misses the moon, it hits my car.
Good at bluffing? Play poker online at partypoker.net. It's fun, it's free, it's the world's largest poker school.
This is the famous Budweiser beer. We know of no brand produced by any other brewer which costs so much to brew and age. Our exclusive Beechwood aging produces a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you'll find in no other beer at any price. Bright, crisp, clean, pure. This is Budweiser. This is beer.
The greetings are different. The need to feel welcome is the same. You don't just stay here. You belong.
Play the Shell million-gallon giveaway and get your needle moving in the right direction. Drop in now for a free million-gallon giveaway game piece at participating Shell locations, and you could win free Shell gasoline for life or thousands of other great prizes.
Johnson, where's my web server software, Johnson? Ham sandwich.
What am I gonna do? Who are you?
MCE Genie.
So you're gonna get me out of this jam?
Yeah.
Okay, then I need a remotely backed up web server running Red Hat Linux. It's gotta be a monster. And a fantastic warranty? Hey, I only get one more wish.
No, silly. I'm the MCE Genie. There's no limit to your wishes.
MCE Technology Solutions now.
Rediscover a California shopping tradition. The Bargain Hunter's Paradise for 45 years. San Jose Flea Market is 2,000 vendors. Miles of treasure-laden aisles. Incredible buys for your home, family, garden, and company. Plus international food, live music, playgrounds, antique carousel, and California's largest, freshest produce market. This weekend, rediscover the Flea Market.
Flea Market.
The world's largest.
San Jose Flea Market.
Berryessa Road between 6 City and 101.
Anthony Bourdain, no reservations, Monday at 10 p.m. on the Travel Channel.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. I'm here with Joe Cassidy, a former WPT final tableist. Now, in this tournament, you finished 7th. How's it feel to be the bubble boy?
The bubble boy is the worst position to be in. I mean, it feels terrible.
Well, now you're here. Do you have any predictions on who might win?
You know, I thought Patrick Antonius would either go out first or he would win it. So I'm picking Patrick Antonius, but Doyle's always a great competitor too. So one of those two.
All right, well, let's see what happens. Let's get back to the action.
Our current chip leader is the phenom from Finland, Patrick Antonius, with about 5.6 million in chips. In second place, JJ Liu with about $4.5 million. And in third place, the living legend himself, Doyle Bronson, with about $2.8 million.
All right, it's going to be on our chip leader. He quickly goes out. Renee out. Now JJ Liu looks at Big Slick.
Well, a monster hand here. She picks up Ace-King. And she's going to raise it. Makes it $250,000 to go.
All right, into Doyle Bronson. And Doyle's got a big hand, too. Pair of jacks wired up.
Well, he's on a little roll right now, too. This is a nice hand. Let's see how he's going to play the 2 jacks.
Raise it.
And he says he's going to raise.
And it looks like a $750,000 raise here. Makes it $1 million straight.
It's like 750 more.
And the next man to act is Daryl Dickin, and he's got a pair of 9s.
Well, that's a pretty good hand, too, but the pot's been raised and re-raised, and he wisely lays the 2 9s down.
I'm all in.
Back around to JJ. She says all in.
Without hesitation, she goes all in.
Oh, man.
We can see because of the WPT cam that Doyle is out in front here with the 2 jacks, but when you've re-raised and made $1 million to go, and she quickly goes all in over the top.
What did I do?
You got to take a step back and say, whoa, you're fearful that she has the aces, kings, or queens. One of the 3 hands that have you beat.
Oh, he's already invested over $1 million, though.
If she turned her hand straight up, Doyle would beat her in the pot, even though it's a race situation because of the pot odds he's getting, and they're tremendous pot odds, Vince. Doyle's got about $1.7 million left, yet right now there's about $2.7 million in the pot.
Well, I'll tell you something, JJ Liu looking very scary with those trick-or-treat glasses on. What an over-the-top raise. She could bust out Doyle Bronson right now. Oh, and Doyle's saying to himself, what did I get myself into?
This is going to be a tough laydown to make.
But he
is making it. Wow. We can see that mathematically, because of the pot odds, that was the wrong decision by Doyle to make. But it just shows you that great players can make big laydowns.
Oh, man, the cowboy just falling off the horse there a little bit. JJ Liu, the woman, is not afraid of the boys here tonight, that's for sure.
Vince, as you know, a lot of poker players have the mindset of athletes.
Right, but you know, one player once put it, he said, you know what, poker is the only so-called sport where an athlete can actually eat while playing his game, right?
Well, that may be true, but what many of them may not know is that what they eat can affect their game.
That is true, and that is why Courtney Friel is here. She's going to serve up some food for thought in this week's WPT Academy.
Poker players try to cover all the angles of the game, but many don't realize that the choices they make at the dinner table could determine whether they make the final table. So what do poker players like to eat?
Noodle. One-pan noodle soup.
Vegetables and rice.
Hummus and carrots.
As long as it's got sauce and meat in it, I'm eating it.
Okay, now what should they eat?
I want foods that contain a mixture of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Things like sandwiches or trail mix provide a nice slow and steady absorption and then release of fuel to the body. When that blood sugar drops below normal, it can actually impair concentration and cause some irritability.
I got the nuts, man.
Nutrition bars can actually be a wonderful snack.
I like to eat health food bars, nutritional bars, something that's good for you.
They don't leave you feeling full and actually sluggish like a large meal would.
It took me years to figure that out, but I always noticed I got broke after the dinner break a lot.
So if you want to play smart, remember to eat smart.
All you can eat, baby.
Well, I don't know about you, Mike, but that just whet my appetite. I'm getting hungry again. All right, back down on the table. First one to act, the young man from Iowa, Daryl Dickin. He has ace-4.
He comes in for $250,000.
Very early position. Patrick considering this with king-9 offsuit. And he says, no, not this time. I'm going to go out, let you breathe a little bit. Renee going out. Now JJ Liu with queen-8. Wants no part of it.
So we're around to the big blind. Doyle Bronson peeks down at a 10-8. Remember, he's got $80,000 in the pot. Cost him another $170,000 to call. But he's staring over at Daryl. Wondering if he comes over the top, if he can take the pot away from him here. Of course, you see a little steam coming out from Doyle under that cowboy hat for laying down the 2 jacks in the previous pot.
A little bit of anger. You can just feel it.
Right now, Daryl Dickin getting the Dickin scared out of him by Doyle Bronson.
He is going to stick around with a call.
Well, Doyle does make the call. So Doyle has the 10-8. Daryl has the ace-4. The flop comes 7-6-3. Both players have flopped a gut shot straight draw. Action is on Doyle Bronson.
Oh, he looks like he's been hit by the old stun gun.
Of course, he only has 10 high.
All in.
Well, he's going to go all in here. He is going to put the pressure right on the youngster. And Daryl can't stand the heat. He gets out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Well, Doyle Bronson says, you know, I'm going to get my $1 million back one way or the other around here. Somebody is going to pay.
Who says anger isn't good at the poker table? Makes you have a little frustration. Go all in. You're seeing some old school poker by Doyle Bronson. What a match we got going on here at the Bellagio. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more exciting action here on the World Poker Tour.
I lost my fear of heights on Table Mountain. I lost my vanity in a Himba village. I found myself in Africa. Moms on the Road, Africa. Premieres Thursday at 9, only on the Travel Channel.
Morning, James. Does it? Put it in the contact lens in my eye, and without my hands, it's more hygienic that way. Read about it in a magazine. Works excellent. It's wonderful. All right, I'm ready for the sales. I'm all over the sales report. Thank you. Thanks very much. Okay, Bob.
Bad poker face. Doesn't matter when you play online at partypoker.net. It's fun, it's free, it's the world's largest poker school.
Other eye.
You shot a 71 last week?
Shot around a 71? You can't shoot around anything. It's your score. It's an exact number.
Excuse me, fellas. Can somebody shoot around a 71?
Who?
Him.
Him? No.
The spacious Cadillac DTS. Ready for your foursome.
Greetings are different. The need to feel welcome is the same. You don't just stay here. You belong.
Okay, we are back here at Bellagio. 5 players remaining, and the blinds and antes are going up. $15,000 antes, with the blinds being 60 and 120 grand.
And Daryl Dickin on the short stack. Everyone but the lady has been on the short stack at this final table. All the guys sitting there at one time or another have been on the short stack at this final table.
That is pretty amazing, but action's going to be on our man Daryl Dickin from Iowa this time.
I'm all in.
A pair of 4 says he's going all in. Now right behind him, Patrick Antonius, chip leader, has ace-jack.
He's also got 3 players sitting behind him, yet to act on their hand.
How much is that?
Patrick says, how much is it?
Maybe about...
Yeah, this could be a questionable call here.
Well, he can afford to make the call, Vince. That's one thing he has going for him.
Yeah, you're right.
He's got over 7.1 million in chips, but still, do you want to gamble here for 1.3 million of it?
Now look at the left of Patrick. Notice this. Look at Rene with his hand on the cards. You know this man is going to fold. You know he's not an actor by now. A little lesson there. Know your guys. You know this man is going to go out. But that's a tell. Let's see what Patrick does first here.
It's a little over 12.
He is seriously thinking about this, it appears.
I call.
He's making the call, Vince.
Yes, he has.
Well, this is a daring call here by Patrick.
Rene out with Queen 9. JJ out. Now Doyle Bronson with King 7. Can't figure he can call with this. No, he does not.
So we have the race situation. The 2 overcards versus the pair.
I'm not dominated.
It's ace-jack for Patrick.
It's my turn.
2 4s for Daryl.
How is it your turn?
And Daryl Dickin,
I use my luck till later.
from Waterloo, Iowa, must win this pot to stay alive.
Good luck, Patrick. Good luck.
Well, the chip leader's going to try to knock this guy out, make him our 5th place finisher.
Here we go. Here comes a flop. Oh, not a good start for him.
Patrick has spiked the pair of jacks right off the bat.
Now, so far, his call looks brilliant, Vince. He hasn't made a missed move yet today at this final table. Daryl Dickin must catch a 4 in the turn of the river, or he's going to be our 5th-place finisher.
Oh, he needs to suck out now with the next couple of cards. He's not going to do it on the turn card. It's a 6 of spades.
We are down to the river.
Daryl in very grave condition right now.
Daryl has 2 outs, as we say. 2 cards in the deck that he can catch to win this pot.
Got into this tournament through a satellite. Needs a miracle.
And an 8 comes up at the river.
He did not do it.
Destiny was just not on his side to stay alive here. All 4 players at the table would have beat Daryl had they played that pot.
Well, he's a fine sport. He's going to be picking up $241,000. Daryl Dickin, dead man walking.
The good news is for him, he only has to walk up back to his room, Vince. This is where he's staying. Nice week for Daryl Dickin.
Well, we are down to 4 players. What drama unfolding here tonight?
Well, you talk about perfect timing by Patrick Antonius. Vince, every play he's made tonight has worked out well for him. He is on a roll. He is the monster chip leader now with over $8.7 million in chips, more than $5 million more than the second-place person, which is JJ Liu.
No, it's like he's a clairvoyant. He is in total groove. Nicely done. Action back on Doyle. He quickly folds. And now the man from Finland, Patrick Antonius, with just a 4 deuce.
Every single thing he's done today is turned to gold.
Oh, I gotta love this. He's going up to 300,000.
You can tell he's feeling his oats, folks.
Rene quickly going out. Now over to JJ, and she's got a pretty good hand, ace-jack.
Well, it's the same hand that you just saw Patrick win a big pot with. See how she's going to play it. JJ is making the call.
She makes that reluctant call.
Well, I think she was considering coming over the top, Vince, not throwing the hand away.
That could very well be. 2-way action. JJ with the ace-jack. Patrick with the absolute baloney. 4 deuce.
Here comes a flop. The flop is ace-7-6. So JJ has flopped the 2 aces and checks. She's going to throw him a little rope here. So far, every time someone's checked it, Patrick, he's bet, but this time he checks.
Well, he has respect for the lady at the table.
Boy, what timing he's got, though.
There's a 3 on the turn.
Well, now this gives Patrick a gut shot straight draw, but still, he's got the very worst hand possible at this moment. And JJ leads out and bets 300,000.
And a quick call by Patrick.
Well, I'm surprised at that call, Vince. He can only win with a gut shot 5. Other than a bet, of course. He could take it away from her, but...
Well, that was the quickest call. He does not get his card. It's a 9 of diamonds on the end.
Well, JJ's going to check, just in case he was trapping her. She didn't want to fall into a big trap here. Now, we know the only way Patrick can win this pot is to bet at it, because he has absolutely nothing.
Look at him. He's looks like he's getting some chips.
Well, there's $1.3 million in the pot. He's taking a stab at it. He's betting $1 million here. So he is going to put JJ to the test, but can't imagine she's going to throw this hand away.
Well, he raised before the flop. He checked after the flop. Called on the turn, and now he's coming out with $1 million.
She's got to be thinking the only way she can be beat here is if he was trapping with a real big hand. Or possibly made 3 9s on the river here. Or 3 3s on the turn.
I call.
She makes this call. What a great call.
She's calling with the 2 aces.
Oh, Patrick not wanting to turn that over.
Well, JJ is going to win a nice pot there, over $3.3 million.
The lady showing some game there.
Well, Vince, I would have to say that's the first bobble we've seen Patrick make by calling that $300,000 bet on the turn with the gut shot straight draw. He was forced to bluff at that pot. Unfortunately for him, she made the call, and he lost a big one. We are down to our final 4.
That's right. And the winner is going to take home a $2 million first prize and take the title. Don't go away. We're coming right back.
This program is brought to you in part by Hummer, like nothing else.
little bit of the Pringles you love. Always delicious, always the same. That's the pleasure of every single Pringles snack stack.
Relationships in life are more important than the one between you and your Michelin tires. Rugged, long-lasting Michelin truck tires. Michelin, a better way forward.
There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's World MasterCard, the card that won't hold you back.
Monday on No Reservations, Tony hits the strip.
Let the games begin.
And the strip hits back.
It's just a flesh wound.
That's right! Anthony Bourdain, No Reservations, Las Vegas, Monday at 10 on the Travel Channel.
Summer may be over, but the deals on Toyotas are just getting hotter. Right now, get 0% APR financing or $1,000 cash back on Sienna. 0% or $2,000 on Highlander and 4Runner. And 0% for a whole 60 months or $2,000 back on the 8-passenger Sequoia. And check out the redesigned Camry and RAV4. The Toyotas are ready to roll, but the deals end soon. So hurry into your Toyota dealer today. Toyota, moving forward.
16, 74, 48, 67, 22, 78.
Stupid fast. That's Comcast high-speed internet. Sign up for Comcast high-speed internet today and get this amazing offer. At stupidly quick speeds, it's way faster than DSL and dial-up. Sign up today and start doing more things online faster. Just call 1-800-COMCAST. Comcast high-speed internet. It's Comcastic.
Welcome back to the final table of Bellagio's 5-Diamond World Poker Classic. I'm Courtney Friel, and here are some of the highlights in the race for the $2 million first place prize.
At Bellagio, 4 players are left in the 5-Diamond World Poker Classic. Early on, the Unabomber Phil Locke imploded when he bluffed into pocket aces.
I just didn't believe he had a hand.
JJ Liu came in as chip leader, but eventually turned that title over to a phenom from Finland.
Patrick picks up yet another pot.
A poker legend was nearly history, but Doyle Bronson fought back for a chance at a second WPT title.
Doyle Bronson's going to win another pot. This is getting good.
In Las Vegas, in a battle between young guns and a crafty cowboy, the Bellagio 5-Diamond might end up being a girl's best friend.
Now back to the call of the game with Mike Sexton and Vince Van Patten.
You're at the 5-Diamond World Poker Classic from Bellagio. 4 players remaining right now.
Well, it's come down to 2 foreign players in their 20s. A lady and the legendary Doyle Bronson. So you're right, Vince. It's going to be a classic finish here.
Okay, back to the action. JJ Liu with a pair of 4s. First to act here, and she is going to raise it an additional $155,000.
Well, she's making it $275,000 to go.
Doyle quickly folding his hand.
Patrick looks at the 8-5 here. He's going to lay it down.
And now around to Renee Peterson. Look at this. He's picked up a huge hand, pair of kings.
Well, he's moving all in right here. Vince, that's for $1.8-something million, meaning it's going to cost JJ over $1.5 million to call this bet.
We know she'd be a huge dog. She's not that well invested.
You don't want to go calling huge amounts with small pairs. You don't mind betting it, but you just hate to call with it because at best you're going to be in a race situation where your opponent has 2 overcards. And if your opponent happens to have an overpair, you're a huge underdog here, as is the case right now.
Yeah, you would figure that she's going to make this lay down. The mother of 2 from Palo Alto, JJ Liu.
She's been known to have a lot of gamble in her, Vince, that's for sure.
Well,
and she's doing it.
She is doing it.
Well, she's made this call.
Oh, boy, what a blunder.
Well, she hasn't lost the pot yet, but In my view, this is not a good call at all. To call over $1.5 million more with a low pair like this, you are really gambling.
Yeah, I think she just went with a hunch, and this thing is backfired in a big way. Renee Peterson, usually playing on just solid hands. You got to take that into consideration.
Everybody's rooting for her. You know? It's so brutal.
Right now, she's going to have to catch lucky. Here's the flop, and she's not going to do it on the flop.
She is in dire straits right now. She's got to hit a 4 or 2 running spades to win this pot. And recognize we saw Doyle fold a 4. So she has 1 4 left in the deck is all.
The king still well out in front. Here's the turn. It's a 3, no help to JJ.
So we are down to the river card, and there's only 1 4 left in the deck. JJ Liu must catch it if she's going to knock Renee out of this tournament.
Glass is fogging up as we turn over the river.
Over $3.7 million in this pot.
She didn't get it.
She's got nobody to blame but herself for losing that $1.5 million.
She has just doubled up Renee Peterson. He is tickled pink.
My name is Renee Peterson, and I'm from Denmark. This is pretty big for me. Yeah, I like the competition in it. That's what attracted me in the beginning. And later on, it's also you win quite a lot of money.
That was freebie money given over there to Renee. Absolute funny money.
So the 4s were the demise of Daryl Dickin, and certainly they put a hurt on JJ Liu right there.
Okay, no more pussyfooting around. Antes and blinds going up. Antes will be $20,000 each, with the blinds being $100 and $200.
It's $380,000 that each player has to put in a pot each round before they even look at their cards.
Okay, action on the man from Finland, Patrick. He's got a pair of 9s here.
Well, that's a big hand in a short-handed poker game. See what he's going to do with them.
25-year-old chip leader from Helsinki. Catching a lot of wired pairs so far.
Well, he's going to raise it. Comes in for $600,000.
That is an additional $400 grand. Renee folding his queen 6. Round to JJ Liu. Look at this. She's got ace 6 of diamonds in the small blind. She's already got $100 grand in there.
She's still rubbing her toe from stubbing it just a minute ago. She opts to lay it down.
Interesting. And now it's around to Doyle, who's got a couple $100 grand in. He's only got a 10-8.
I recognize there's almost $1 million in the pot. Going to cost Doyle $400,000 more to make this call. And he is doing it, Vince. He's going to gamble here.
Gonna speculate. Doyle Bronson with just 10-8.
Well, Doyle understands that you have to play when the blinds and hands get this high. You just can't sit back and wait for all the monster hands because they're hard to get. Well, he's going to try to flop something here, and he better flop something good.
Thought the chips worth more than that.
He's going to take down 2 9s.
The Finn against the legend. 9s versus 10-8. Here we go.
Well, the flop comes 8-4 deuce. Doyle Bronson has flopped top pair.
And we know Patrick has got the overpair, the 9s.
This could spell doom for him, Vince. There's no way he's going to get away from this hand.
All in.
Oh, he's pushing it all in.
Patrick's quickly going to call with the overpair. Now, what a pot this is. Nearly $5 million in this pot. And Doyle Bronson is up against it.
Well, he was playing with danger, making that call before the flop. He speculates, hits his hand, but now he's in deep trouble.
He's got to catch a 10 or an 8 here.
Great Doyle Bronson on the ropes here.
Now, Vince, if he loses this pot, he can just go back and analyze calling before the flop here. He's got to have a 10 or an 8 to take the lead in this pot. Oh, a 10 comes out on the card. The crowd goes wild. Oh, but it's not over because it's a club. Notice that Patrick now has a flush draw with his 2 9s, so he can win the pot with any club or any 9.
Doyle Bronson catching lucky on the turn. Now, can he hold it up?
This would be a huge break for Doyle Bronson. If his hand holds up and he wins this pot, to put an outdraw on your opponent like this is major.
Here comes the river.
Well, it's a 4. Doyle's going to win this pot with 10s and 8s. And Patrick Antonios is saying to himself, I see why they call you the godfather of poker.
Oh, it's nice to do the wrong thing at the right time. Doyle Bronson succeeding in that mess.
As everyone knows, Doyle Bronson is a legend in the world of poker. But even Doyle will tell you that winning a WPT final table is never easy.
You got to have a combination of, I guess, skill and luck. I think the final table kind of brings out the best players, especially in a tournament like this, and it's sure not easy to win.
Oh, Doyle is a legend, you know.
He's Doyle, living legend, so he's the best.
I respect him a lot, but I don't fear to play him.
I think I do get called a little bit more.
Does he want to tangle with Doyle here?
Especially they've all read that ding book. They never think I've got anything.
He's going to call it.
If you notice, they always study about playing back at me. It's just a little bit aggravating. Look, $2 million's $2 million. I would like to win it, but more than the money, it's the prestige right now. I think at this point, I want to win it.
So Doyle Bronson stacking up his chips. And with that pot, he gets off the short stack, and that distinction now goes to JJ Liu. The lady at the table is on the short stack, meaning that every player at this table has been on the short stack at one time or another.
On Doyle Bronson right now. This time looks down at Jack 4, doesn't want any part of it. And now we're on Patrick. I tell you, you could boil a pot of coffee on his head right now. He is steaming.
Well, I think he's keeping his composure very well, Vince. Lays his hand down. Round to Renee in a small blind.
A junky 10-6, it looks like, and he says, I want to raise.
This guy hadn't made a move yet today, and now he's raising the pot with a 10-6 offsuit.
Oh, I like it. Welcome to the game there, Renee. Taking a shot here with just 10-6.
Well, you got to like the play, because he's only got to get by the big blind to win the pot.
Oh, look at this, the big blind. It's got a pair of aces wired up.
That's unbelievable.
I'm all in.
There she goes, all in.
Poor Renee has made his move.
Renee quickly folding his bluff, and Renee will be taught never, ever try to steal again.
Stick around. We're coming back with more exciting action from Bellagio right after this.
Chris Moneymaker was an amateur poker player who won $2.5 million.
Chris used to come by all the time. He even had a special glass. Hank used to shoot the breeze with him. Hank, what did you and the Moneymaker used to talk about? Poker. Money hasn't changed, Chris, though. He still drops by from time to time.
Play the Moneymaker Millionaire free at PokerStars.net. $2.5 million in cash and prizes.
You shot a 71 last week?
Shot around a 71? You can't shoot around anything. It's your score. It's an exact number.
Excuse me, fellas. Can somebody shoot around a 71?
Who?
Him.
Him? No.
The spacious Cadillac DTS. Ready for your foursome.
Remember, when you hit the water, I need you to hydroplane out of control. Remember, out of control. Cut! No, cut!
Okay, fire the stunt driver.
The Michelin Hydro Edge with Michelin-engineered hydro chutes. It's our best performing tire in its class. Michelin, a better way forward. Hydro Edge tires perform in all weather conditions and now come with an all-season 90,000-mile limited warranty.
What would you do on a $50,000 Expedia dream vacation? Want a chance to win a $50,000 ultimate dream vacation? Enter now at ExpediaGiveaway.com. Other prizes include trips to our top destinations, digital cameras, and more. Plus, find great deals during our 10th anniversary sale. Enter for a chance to win the trip of a lifetime. Expedia.com.
They'll be back. The Whiskers shall return with new players, consuming passions, a hunger for adventure, and the key to the fate of Shakespeare. Join the fray on Season 2 of Meerkat Manor. Starts Friday at 8 on Animal Planet.
Welcome to Nicolino's. Come, experience the romance. Taste the finest cuisine. Experience the magic. Nicolino's, Italian prime rib and seafood. The Valley's last romantic restaurant.
Want an attorney general who wants to outlaw abortion? Meet career legislator Charles Pouchigian.
George Bush's appointments to the Supreme Court make me worried. Now, his Fresno campaign chairman, Charles Pouchigian, is running for attorney general, and he wants to outlaw abortion and overturn Roe v. Wade. We need an attorney general who will defend our right to choose. Pouchigian is too extreme for California.
There's a better choice for attorney general. Jerry Brown will always defend your right to choose.
He's the one with the big hand.
I'll be waiting a bit and playing solid hands in the beginning, but I have to gamble at some point.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We're at the $8 million 5-Diamond World Poker Classic at Bellagio. Let's check the chip count and see where the players stand.
4 players remain.
And Vince, they've all got chips now. Will one of these 2 foreign players in their 20s take this title? Will we see the first ever lady champion on the World Poker Tour? Or will we see the legendary Doyle Bronson capture his 2nd WPT title?
Fun and excitement in the Fontana Lounge at Bellagio. Action on the cowboy Doyle Bronson.
He looks down at Queen Jack offsuit. Doyle very aware of how high these blinds and antes are, meaning you got to get in there and play something. And he's going to play the Queen Jack to the tune of $600,000.
Yes, he goes up the elevator into Patrick. Now Patrick with the button, he's got a pair of 9s. How many wired pairs has Patrick picked up tonight?
Well, he's picked up a lot of them. It's a middle pair, as we say. The toughest hand many feel to play a no-limit hold'em, especially when a guy's raised in front of you. What do you do now?
Well, that's the same hand that he had a couple hands back that Doyle just humbled him with.
This guy has been a huge thorn in Doyle's side this entire tournament.
Of course, Patrick is the chip leader with close to $6 million. He's going all in.
Well, he's going to take the decision out of his hands and put it back on Doyle.
Renee's going out. JJ out. Back on Doyle. Doyle's going to be saying to himself, what's going on here? Why is this guy raising so much?
Well, Doyle's trying to calculate his pot odds here.
When do the blinds go up again?
In fact, Doyle asking when the blinds go up.
14 more minutes.
He understands how high they are, how difficult it is to pick up hands in a short-handed game.
Well, yeah, because when those blinds go up so much, the luck factor increases. It's like a coin toss. He understands that. Does he want to gamble right now with his old friend Patrick?
Well, there's about $4.4 million in the pot now. Going to cost Doyle about $3 million more to call because that's all he has left.
Now, that is a distinct overraise by Patrick, of course. You know, he had close to $6 million. Just had to call an additional 4, but he's saying, last time I got snagged by making a mid-sized raise. This time, I'm going to make Doyle feel it, and yes. Well, there's a good example. Those middle pairs, how tough they are to play. He tried it a couple of hands back where he did a nice massage raise. He couldn't get Doyle to get out, and it really hurt him. So this time he says, to heck with it. I feel a little unlucky with it. If this guy wants to gamble with me, good luck. I'm going all in. And it works that time.
Well, right now, Doyle Bronson's got to be wishing that Patrick would go back to modeling.
And right now, short stack Doyle Bronson with about 2.6.
And if this fight were stopped on points, I'll tell you, Patrick Antonios would defeat Doyle Bronson. At the moment, anyway.
Action back on Doyle.
Doyle looks down at a Jack-10. Even though he just got spanked a moment ago with a Queen Jack, he is not changing his style. Looks like he's getting out some chips here, Vince.
Oh, come on now, cowboy. Slow down.
Is he going to raise it again?
Oh, you got to love his competitive spirit.
Well, he's doing it to the tune of $600,000.
Yeah.
They may knock him back a step or two, but he gets right back in the middle of the ring and fires more shots at him.
And now it's on to Patrick, and I can't believe this. Again with a pair.
I'm all in.
Patrick's going all in.
Unbelievable. Oh. This is like an instant replay of the last hand.
Oh, deja vu. Renee quickly going out. JJ going out with Jack-5. Back on Doyle.
Doyle's just got to be eating his insides out now. Oh. This kid is playing him like a fiddle here. Oh, man.
This kid has acquired more pairs than a fruit stand all night long. But you know what's interesting? A lot of players would massage it. He's saying, I've had enough. I get the middle pair. I take the pot. I don't want to know. I don't know what the flop is. I don't want you to outdraw me. I'll wait for another hand to bust you.
Folks, if you've ever wanted to know how to play a middle pair, a no-limit hold'em, just replay this show and watch what Patrick does and see how he plays them.
Patrick Antonius has it all. He's young, good-looking, and is a good poker player. But there's one thing he still wants, a WPT title.
Helsinki, Finland, Patrick Antonius.
WPT, it's one of the best tournaments to win, especially this one in Bellagio.
Patrick has been a brutal force throughout this entire tournament.
I'm definitely worried about him.
16 Jack, Patrick's in the best hand.
He's a very tough player, very tough.
So what prepared him to be such a tough player?
I've been doing modeling 4 years when I was studying in Finland. It was good. I didn't do much catwalks, just pictures, catalogs and stuff.
Well, maybe it wasn't the modeling, but Patrick has always been a fierce competitor.
I was playing tennis almost professionally when I was 18, 19. I also did coaching. I do a lot of sports. Because poker is sport and I'm one of the top players.
Well, he's very happy to win it right there, I can tell you, with 2 sevens. Didn't want to get in a race situation there and double up the great Doyle Bronson.
Well, Doyle Bronson in the stirrup and getting dragged around by this young man. Anyway, the antes are going up to 30, blinds being 150, 300,000. Action on our man Doyle. Lays down a 9-5. Now it is on Patrick.
Well, Vince, with 570,000 in the pot now, before the cards are dealt, all you're going to see is big bet poker from here out, I'm guessing.
Look at this. Patrick goes all in with 8-5.
I call him.
And Renee Peterson with a pair of ladies right behind him has called this. JJ Liu going out. The thief has been caught here.
Renee in great shape here to double up. He's got 2 queens. Patrick making a move there with 8-5. Even though it may look goofy to our viewers, how could a guy go all in with an 8 high in that spot? The truth is, most of the time he's going to win the pot by doing that.
Make me straight.
Most of the time, opponents aren't going to pick up a big hand and they're just going to give up the pot to you. In this case, Renee picked up the 2 queens, and right now Patrick is up against it.
I have never lost to the ladies. No. I can't believe, can I beat them, you know?
Here comes the flop.
Now flop is Jack 9 deuce.
And that is good for Renee. His queen's well out in front.
Well, it means that Patrick has to catch 2 runners to win this pot. Well, there's 2 runners to make a straight, 2 runners to make a flush, or a combination running 8 and 5.
Now, will the Dane beat the Finn? Turn card comes up a king of spades, though.
Well, this gives Patrick a flush draw.
Trouble lurking.
It's never easy, Renee. Patrick must catch a spade to eliminate Renee from this tournament.
Poker destiny on the line for both gentlemen.
Renee finally showed a worried look. A 10 comes off. Renee has made a king on a straight, and he breathes a sigh of relief.
Oh, yes, he has. He has caught the thief, the poker pirate, Patrick Antonius. And right now we've got a new chip leader. Renee Peterson has taken the chip lead.
Well, that was a huge pot, that's for sure. Over $6.4 million in that pot.
Renee Peterson from Denmark, our new chip leader. So impressive, only been playing poker for 3 years. What an opportunity he has here tonight.
Well, these 2 foreign players in their 20s, they're tough hombres. They're in great chip position to take this title. Let's see if they can do it.
Okay, it's back on Patrick. He's got an 8-5 suited.
Well, he just got burned with an 8-5 a minute ago. You know, sometimes when hands aren't lucky for you, you're not anxious to get in there and play them again.
Well, he is pondering this, taking his time. No, he's going to lay it down.
Over to Renee, who's the chip leader now. He's picked up a pair of deuces on the button, and he's going to make it $1 million to go here.
JJ going out.
Doyle Bronson with 2 10s. A huge hand here for Doyle, especially when you only got $2 million in chips.
And he's going to go all in.
Yeah, he's putting it all out there.
I call him.
Renee's calling him because he's pot committed. There's $3.2 million in the pot. Cost him $1 million more to call.
Finally got a pair.
Renee shows deuces.
Well, Doyle says, I finally got a pair. He hasn't held many cards at this final table, that's for sure. But right now,
got the suits killed.
He is loving this.
Oh, it is happy trails for Doyle right now. He's out in front with the 10s over Renee's pair of deuces.
10 deuce. Got to be a message there.
Well, what's ironic about this, the hand named after Doyle in the poker world is a 10 deuce because he won the world title 2 consecutive years with that hand. Here it's 2 10s versus 2 deuces, and luckily for Doyle, he's got the 10s. It's not over till it's over. Doyle knows it. Will he stay alive? Stay tuned. We'll be right back on the World Poker Tour.
How are we going to do this, Jorge?
On the next Globe Trekker, Ian gets his wings in Venezuela.
Oh, there's my feet.
Care to join him?
This is unbelievable.
Globe Trekker, Venezuela, Monday at 8, only on the Travel Channel.
Chris Moneymaker was an amateur poker player who won $2.5 million.
Chris used to play with us every Thursday, but that was his spot. He was a good player.
Pretty lucky.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky. Money hasn't changed, Chris, though. He still stops by from time to time.
Play the Moneymaker Millionaire free at PokerStars.net. $2.5 million in cash and prizes.
Paula Sela is a real Geico customer, not an actor. So to help tell her story, we hired that announcer guy from the movies.
When the storm hit, both our cars were totally underwater.
In a world where both of our cars were totally underwater.
We thought it would take forever to get some help.
But a new wind was about to blow.
With Geico, we had our check in 2 days.
Payback. This time, it's for real.
Geico. Real service, real savings.
It just gives me the feeling like she's not, like, listening to me.
Have you tried not saying like every other word?
What?
Remember your ski trip story?
Yeah.
I was like going down the hill and like,
come on, that's
and I was
not
like,
me.
stuff either happened.
Holy.
This summer, you can save money and the environment with energy-efficient cooling systems. Like overhead fans. Of course, the size of the fan is up to you.
Anthony Bourdain, no reservations, Monday at 10 p.m. on the Travel Channel.
Welcome back to the 5 Diamond World Poker Classic, where Doyle Bronson is all in with pocket 10s against Denmark's Renee Peterson and his pocket 2s. Can the poker great survive, or will he lose to a legendary outdraw?
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. Doyle Bronson with the 10s over Renee's deuces. Here comes the flop.
Doyle's hand stands up. He doubles up, is in good shape. If not, he's going to be eliminated in 4th place. So far, so good for Doyle.
Yeah, safe flop there for Doyle. His 10's out in front.
This means that Renee must catch a deuce to knock out Doyle Bronson.
He's got a couple outer. Here's the turn card. It's a 4 diamonds.
So we are down to the river. And if it's not a duck, Doyle's going to continue to quack in this tournament. It's a queen.
He survived it.
Well, the crowd roars. They don't want Texas Dolly going anywhere. They love him here at this final table.
Oh, you tell me. Doyle Bronson going back and forth. He's back in the game.
So Doyle has doubled up here. He is right in the thick of it to take this title, Vince.
Texas Dolly, the godfather of poker, is not ridden off into the sunset quite yet.
Well, Doyle Bronson hasn't caught that many hands at this final table. Happy to get an easy win here.
Once again, the winner. A couple $1 million going to that lucky person. Action's going to be on Renee Peterson first. He has a junky 5-4, throws it down.
Well, JJ is moving all in right here. She's got ace-3 on the button, and she's pulled the trigger for all her chips.
Doyle quickly folding his hand now. Patrick Antonius has got ace-10 of diamonds.
I call him.
He's making the call. He's doing it. And she is not going to like it. You saw her wince there when he turned up his hands, because she is dominated, as we say. Now, when we talk about dominated, meaning both players have one similar card, it's still not as bad as you think. He's only about a 2-to-1 favorite to win this pot.
Well, the mother of 2 from Palo Alto is going to need some luck, otherwise she will be gone. Ace-3 versus Patrick's ace-10.
Well, Vince, JJ's carrying the torch for the ladies. Will the flame go out here?
Here comes the flop.
Well, flop is 7-7-6. Now, for JJ to win this pot, she's got to catch a 3, 2 running cards to make it straight. She can stay alive if a 6 comes up right now, where they'll both have 2 pair with an ace kicker.
And here comes the turn card. No.
Well, it's a 9. So for JJ to win this pot, she's got to catch a 3.
Come on, picture. King of hearts.
She can tie it if a 6 or a 9 comes up.
Otherwise, it's going to be the demise of the pretty peacock, JJ Liu. She will be our 4th place finisher. Here comes the river card.
It's a jack.
Not to be.
The hopes of the ladies die out.
Played so well. He trapped me so many times in this tournament.
With JJ Liu going out in 4th place. But Vince, a great showing for JJ this week. She's going to take home over $362,000 for her efforts. Hugs all around. JJ Liu, our 4th place finisher.
Well, you hate to say goodbye to her. What an ovation for JJ Liu. A brilliant poker player, a lovely woman.
We have still yet to have a ladies champion on the World Poker Tour. The ladies' jinx continues, Vince.
JJ, I was hoping you were going to win this thing. But what was it like to take out some of the guys?
Well, I felt very excited. I think those guys are very, very tough players. I still will continue to try to beat those boys.
What a battle ensuing at Bellagio. We've got European youth versus old school Vegas. 3 players remaining.
You're right, Vince. It's the world versus the USA. New school versus old school. Who's going to take this title?
All right, quickly Renee folding on to Doyle Bronson. He's got a wired pair of 3s. He says, I call it. And now Patrick Antonius with ace-deucey.
Well, Vince, Patrick has got to think the ace-high is the best hand here after Doyle limps in.
I'm all in.
Oh, he's going over the top.
In.
I call.
And Doyle quickly calls it.
He's calling with a small pair for over $4 million. He's just tired of getting pushed around by this guy, I think, Vince.
Well, what's interesting, he wasn't invested, didn't have a whole lot of money in there. He is calling off with a little pair, and that's the play we said, you know, you're not supposed to be doing. But the great Doyle Bronson is doing just that.
I can't believe he called pocket 3s, you know.
But look at the timing of it, Vince. The guy's only got 1 overcard instead of 2 like you'd expect him to have.
I was trying to get a little better hand than that, get this on.
It's the best hand I can have for you.
Doyle is running to an ace-deuce.
You're right.
And he has made a great call here.
Well, that's...
He's a 2-to-1 favorite.
Doyle ran him for the deuce. What are you going to say? Only Doyle can do that. Well, he would become the new chip leader if his 3s should hold up. All of it on the line for Doyle Bronson. And that's a favorable flop for Doyle Bronson. His 3's out in front.
Well, right now, all Doyle's got to dodge is an ace. If Patrick catches the bullet, it will shoot Doyle Bronson down. Things looking good right now for the Cowboy. Doyle Bronson in great shape to double up and take the lead. Here comes the turn card. Well, it's a 9. Patrick claps his hands because he knows that gives him 6 more outs to win the pot. He can win the pot with any ace, any 10, any 6.
Doyle Bronson would love to wrap this up, lasso this young Finn, teach him a little lesson. It's all going to come down to this cash card, the river card.
Over $8.6 million in this pot. It's coming down to the river card. Doyle's got to dodge an ace, a 10, or a 6. Let's see if he can do it. He's done it. It's a 9. Doyle's made a full house. He's going to take this pot down, and he breaks into a big Texas grin.
Now, what's interesting, I think Patrick thought he hit the card. He saw the pair, and for a second there, he thought there would be 2 pair on the board, and his ace would win as a kicker. But then he quickly realized Doyle Bronson with his full house taking that.
So Doyle Bronson now the monster chip leader at this table.
How can he make the call?
You say, how could I make that call? How could you make that bet? We're playing poker, not solitaire.
You're watching the $8 million Bellagio 5-Diamond World Poker Classic here on the World Poker Tour. Don't go away.
The worst day of the year is when you get knocked out of a big tournament. And the further you go, the worse it hurts. I've been second a few times. Good luck. Been 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th. There's only one good position that it don't hurt. And that's my objective, and that's to win.
In Las Vegas, every seat in the house feels like front row center. It's a backstage pass that shows everyone is talking about at entertainment you can't find anywhere else. It's edge-of-your-seat excitement, perfect performances, and a selection of shows broad enough to satisfy everyone, from your significant other to the extended family. So whatever show you're after, from risque to family, it's non-stop celebrity and celebration, with the star power to light up the entire city every night of the week. My favorite place for entertainment, My Vegas, the most fabulous show on earth. Here's what's on the bill this week.
This is the famous Budweiser beer. What gives Budweiser its distinct, balanced taste from start to finish? Beechwood aging, an expensive traditional brewing method found only in Budweiser. Our exclusive Beechwood aging produces a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you'll find in no other beer at any price. This is Budweiser. This is beer.
Remember, when you hit the water, I need you to hydroplane out of control. Remember, out of control. Cut! No, cut!
Fire the stunt driver.
The Michelin Hydro Edge with Michelin-engineered hydro chutes. It's our best performing tire in its class. Michelin, a better way forward. Hydro Edge tires perform in all weather conditions and now come with an all-season 90,000-mile limited warranty.
Chris Moneymaker was an amateur poker player who won $2.5 million.
This is Chris's old desk. This is his old chair. This is his in tray. This is Larry. Chris used to work with Larry. Money hasn't changed Chris. He still drops by from time to time.
Play the Moneymaker Millionaire free at PokerStars.net. $2.5 million in cash and prizes.
It's late at night. You like to play cards, but you work strange hours and your friends are long since asleep. How about Bay 101? There's non-stop gaming action going on right now at Bay 101. Play Texas Hold'em just like they do on TV. Have fun, meet new people, and if you're hungry, there's a complete menu including breakfast available 24/7. Whatever time of day, there's always action at Bay 101, just off the 101 in San Jose. Bay 101 reminds you to please play responsibly, but remember to change your shoes.
VHIX.com helps people find the car they want at a dealer near them. How do we improve that user experience?
Include a vanity mirror so people can get an idea of how they look in their new car. Give them a free VHIX comb, too.
And your idea?
VHIX TV. Not just web pages, cool video test drives powered by Wheels TV.
Cool video test drives, now at VHIX.com. Roadmap to the automotive world.
All new episode of the Professional Poker Tour.
That was sick. Hey, can I go puke now?
We're dealing out a double dose of action.
You're just a sitting target.
As we bring you the third and fourth quarter.
Just in case you miscounted.
In one special show.
Let's go for it.
It's double the dealing.
Not very appropriate for a professional.
With plenty of players sent packing.
God, hope it's brutal, huh?
On the next all-new episode of the Professional Poker Tour. Wednesday at 9. Only on the Travel Channel.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. Doyle Bronson coming back like a broke cousin. He is our new chip leader here.
Well, Vince, Doyle's been mumbling to himself all night long how this Finnish kid has been taking it to him. Now we got the young Finn mumbling to himself because Doyle made that play with the 2 3s and took him down.
Action on Patrick. He's looking down at a little suited connector, 5-4 of hearts.
Patrick just took a big blow, wants to catch his breath a minute. throws it away.
And now on Renee, he's got a pair of deuces. He says he's going all in with it.
Well, he's going all in with the 2 ducks.
And Doyle Bronson right behind him. He's got ace-7.
I call.
He makes the call.
Wow. So again, we have an $8 million pot on the line here. All in before the flop. It's 2 deuces for Renee and ace-7 for Doyle. We've got a race, and what a race.
Doyle willing to gamble here, makes a call. Hey, I'm not so sure that Doyle just wants to go home to watch Rawhide reruns. He is playing real fast.
Well, it's a pretty big hand when you're playing against the other blind, that's for sure, but Doyle had to call $4 million with the ace-7 here.
Oh, it would be nice to win a race.
He did it. Let's see if he can get lucky and win another pot. If so, he'll be the dominating chip leader, playing heads up for this title.
Money moving around fast at Bellagio. Here it comes.
The flop comes king, queen, 8. So far, the 2 ducks are quacking. Doyle's got to have some help.
Here's the turn card.
The 10 of clubs comes off. That gives Doyle a straight draw. The jack would give him a straight, but notice that there's 4 clubs now that Renee has. So Doyle must catch an ace, a jack, or a 7. That's not a club to win this pot.
Opportunities growing for Doyle Bronson to knock out the young man from Denmark. Can it be on the last card?
He doesn't do it. The 6 of clubs comes off. Renee sits back down, and Doyle's chip lead has now evaporated. And Vince, it's like musical chairs with his chip lead. 2 hands ago, Patrick had it. The last hand, Doyle had it. And now all of a sudden, Renee's got it. Round and round we go. Where the last chair stops, nobody knows.
Well, I wonder if Renee will have champagne with his Danish, because he is the chip leader right now with about $8 million.
Well, don't pass out the champagne just yet. He's got a lot of mountains to cross to get by these 2 guys, I can tell you.
Well, let's go back to the action. Renee quickly folding a 9-4, and now Doyle Bronson has ace-6. He says all in with it.
That hand figures to be a favorite over the big blind. Can't blame Doyle for going all in here.
Oh, but right behind him, Patrick with a big hand himself, ace-9 offsuit.
Well, he's faced with a tough decision as to what to do here.
I hate these coin flips. I just hate this so much.
You didn't mind it when you was doing it to me all night.
I have a hand. You would call me in 1 second, but I just...
Remember, the 3rd place finisher gets $563,000. The winner gets over $2 million. So much on the line.
Well, Patrick has an opportunity.
I call it.
Huge one right here. He makes the call.
Well, he is making a call, and he is going to love it. Well, you see how happy he is.
Give me this one.
He knows he's got him dominated.
Come on, it's unlocked.
But as dominating as it looks, he's still only about a 2-to-1 favorite to win this pot.
And if Doyle should get lucky, he could break the young man. The Scandinavian champion of 2005, this young man.
You see the intense look on Patrick's face here. He's just trying to get his hand to hold up. Here's the flop. It's ace, 8, 7.
Oh, wow.
Now, both players have made a pair of aces, but Patrick's kicker, the 9, is better, and it looks like it's going to play here, Vince.
Doyle Bronson with major kicker problems.
Well, Doyle's going to have to catch a 6. 2 running cards to make a straight. Well, a queen comes off.
Oh, and the male model is looking pretty here.
Well, Doyle can tie this pot now. If a 7 or an 8 comes off, he'll win it if a 6 comes off. So right now, Doyle Bronson looking for what we call a 3 across, a 6, 7, or an 8.
6, 7, 8. Bill gets at least part of this pot.
He needs to suck out.
He doesn't get it.
No, he does not.
A deuce comes off. So the phenom from Finland getting the best of Doyle Bronson right there.
Oh, yeah. Patrick Antonios kicking Doyle Bronson around like a tumbleweed.
Well, you can't fault Doyle's play there. Give Patrick credit for making the call with the ace-9. And on we go. We still have 3 players left.
It's a $7 million pot, and look at Doyle Bronson. You talk about the blood being drained from your head. Looks like he's been kicked by his own horse. Doyle Bronson down to $1.5 million. Action on him. Look at this. He's got a big hand, though.
I'm all in.
King Jack, he says, naturally I'm all in.
I'd go all in, too, with Advance if I was in his shoes with that chip stack.
And right behind him, Patrick with a queen 7. He goes down.
Oh, my golly.
I called.
Renee has picked up two kings. If you were going to dream about a hand you wouldn't want to be up against right now, if you were Doyle Bronson, it's two kings, and that's exactly what Renee showed up with. This is unbelievable.
Just a complete debacle for Doyle Bronson, making his move up against kings.
And that's the third time that people have moved all in on Renee when he's picked up a big pair out of the blind. Incredible. Here, Doyle's going to have to get very lucky to outdraw him.
Okay, let's see the flop. King Jack gets 2 kings.
Casper, you better get to work, buddy.
Doyle getting ready to get up, he says, and there's the flop.
Well, Doyle's going to have to catch 2 runners now to win this pot. It's going to have to come Jack-Jack or 2 running cards to make a straight.
I need a queen.
Well, Doyle says, give me a queen, and that's what came off.
Oh, sure.
That gives him an open-end straight draw. He now has 8 cards he can catch to win this pot. Any ace or any 9.
Can the maestro predict his hand?
Well, look at Renee. He said, I can't believe it. I know this is his house, but please, don't do this to me. We're talking about over $1.5 million in real money and a WPT title.
The Dane in prayer mode. River card coming up.
Well, it's an 8. Renee breathing a sigh of relief, and the legendary Doyle Bronson out in 3rd place.
Doyle Bronson, the Dalai Lama of poker.
Well, Doyle, ever the sport, doffs his cap to the crowd. They're giving him a standing ovation, as they should.
He's going to take home $563 grand.
This guy's done it all in the poker world. Very close to capturing his 2nd World Poker Tour title tonight at the age of 72. Just incredible.
Standing ovation. Always an honor to watch this man play. As he walks away to talk to our very own Courtney Friel.
Thanks, guys. Doyle, by the way you were playing, it looked like you were going to win this thing. How'd it go out there?
I thought so, but, you know, that's the way it goes. There's nothing you can do about it. The blinds and names get up so high that, you know, both these kids are very aggressive. They're both good players, and nothing I could do. I thought I had it, but I didn't.
It's time for our money presentation. Okay, girls, show us the money.
And out comes a bevy of beauties from Bellagio.
Well, this is always the good part. The huge amounts of cash being flopped on the table.
And it's going to be plenty, Vance. Over $3 million they're going to dump on this table.
And our very own Courtney Friel.
We're crowning 2 more new millionaires on the World Poker Tour tonight. One of these guys is going to walk away with a little over $1 million, the other with over $2 million.
Well, it's going to be a European street fight. We're about to begin. Stay tuned. We're coming back with the fight in just a moment.
Keep gambling what it should be. Entertainment.
Without setting limits, it's easy to get carried away.
Every player thinks they have a system. Me? I only bring what I can afford.
Gambling's more fun when I set limits and stick to them.
You don't have to take big risks to have big fun.
When you gamble for fun, you've already won. For a free guide to responsible gaming, go to AmericanGaming.org.
Magic runs through my veins.
From a past paved in victory comes a future filled with glory. Can-Am. The name is back, but the passion never left. I Can-Am. Can you?
Chris Moneymaker was an amateur poker player who won $2.5 million.
Chris used to come by all the time. He even had a special glass. Hank used to shoot the breeze with him. Hank, what did you and the Moneymaker used to talk about? Poker. Money hasn't changed, Chris, though. He still drops by from time to time.
Play the Moneymaker Millionaire free at PokerStars.net. $2.5 million in cash and prizes.
relationships in life are more important than the one between you and your Michelin tires. Rugged, long-lasting Michelin truck tires. Michelin, a better way forward.
On the next all-new episode of the Professional Poker Tour.
That was sick. Hey, can I go puke now?
We're dealing out a double dose of action.
You're just a sitting target.
As we bring you the third and fourth quarter.
Just in case you miscounted.
In one special show.
Let's go for it.
It's double the dealing.
Very appropriate for a professional.
With plenty of players sent packing.
God, poker's brutal, huh?
On the next all-new episode of the Professional Poker Tour. Wednesday at 9. Only on the Travel Channel.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour, the 5-Diamond World Poker Classic from Bellagio, where past winners have included Gus Hansen, Paul Phillips, and Daniel Negreanu. Who's going to take the title this year?
Well, it's going to be a young foreign player, that's for sure. Our current chip leader is 26-year-old Rene Peterson from Denmark. He's got a little over 10 million in chips. And Patrick Antonios is from Helsinki, Finland. He's 25 years old. He's starting out with 6.6 million.
All right, it's on Patrick. He's got a miserable-looking 5-3.
He's the more aggressive of these two players.
Well, he has proved that this evening.
Well, he's going to prove it again right here. He's got a 5-3 offsuit, and he's betting $1.2 million with it.
And Rene finally peeks down at his queen 4, and he can't compete.
Normally, the more aggressive player in heads-up situation fares better. If that's the case, Patrick could do very well in this heads-up match. Can Rene change gears and get into an aggressive mode himself? We shall see.
Ante's getting stiff. The antes are 50,000 at this point, and the blinds are just an incredible $300,000 and $600,000.
That means these players are putting in $1 million every 2 hands before they even look at their cards.
All right. Patrick looking at his cards. He's got queen 7 this time.
He's on the button, in position. Has what we call the computer hand, the queen 7 offsuit.
It's going to cost him another $300,000 to make a call, but does he want to get fancy and pump this up? This time Patrick says, I'm just going to call it. And now it's on Rene to pump it. He has 8-3.
He says, give us a flop.
No hanky-panky by Rene.
Here we go. $1,300,000 in the pot, and they're just calling before the flop. Well, flop is Jack, 10, 6, 2 spades. No help to either player.
No, and Rene quickly checks it. Nothing hitting for Patrick either. But does he see a window of opportunity here?
Well, he's got a laser look toward that 1.3 million sitting in the pot. He's going to take a stab at it, Vince.
And before he can even get it in, Rene dumps his hand.
Well, the aggression paying off for Patrick Antonios. With that last pot, he is now the chip leader by a slight margin. And Vince, no matter which one of these guys win, they won't be the first guy to win from that country. Certainly we saw Juha Helppi, who's come in first and second in World Poker Tour events. He's from Finland. And obviously we all know about the great Gus Hansen, the winningest player in the World Poker Tour from Denmark. Could Rene be the second Dane to capture a WPT title?
All right, on Patrick, and look at this. He's got a great hand, ace-king, big slick of spades.
Well, poker is all about betting. When to bet, when not to bet, and most importantly, how much to bet. Let's see what Patrick is going to do here with the ace-king of spades.
Does he want to slow play it and just call for 300?
I'm all in.
No, he's going to go all in with the oversized raise.
I would say an oversized raise for sure. He has bet over $8 million here.
Rene is sweating because he looks down at an ace-4 diamonds.
Let's go.
He says, I'm going to call it.
Well, Vince, his thought process was that if my opponent had a better hand than this, would he really go all in? Why wouldn't he try to trap me and win more money?
That's right.
Rene thought he had the best hand. He was fooled by the overbet by Patrick, and there's Patrick up high-fiving his friends.
Oh, yeah, he is celebrating maybe a little bit too early. It's ace-king versus ace-4.
You know, he's only slightly over a 2-to-1 favorite to win this pot. He's still high-fiving the crowd, giving Marcel Lusk a hug there.
Rene thinking he should be getting the Nincompoop Award. absolutely disgusted that he makes this call, but you can't blame him. Not a bad call.
Well, Vince, unfortunately for him, he got fooled. Now he's got to get lucky.
Big Slick versus Ace 4, two European players, both in their 20s. One of them about to become a major poker superstar.
Well, folks, you're talking about over $1 million difference between first and second place in real money. The prestige of winning a World Poker Tour title, it's all on the line.
Now,
here's the flop.
It's a
7-6-5.
Open-ended there for Renee, not so fast.
Well, that's a nice flop for Renee because, as you said, he now has 11 outs to win this pot.
How many have 11 outs?
He can catch a 3 or an 8 and make a straight. He can also backdoor diamond flush. 4 3s, 3 4s, and 4 8s. Those are the 11 cards Patrick's trying to dodge right now. Let's see if he can do it.
Come on. $1 million coin flip.
Renee Peterson with some big-time hope here. Here's the turn.
A 3 has come out. Renee has made a straight. Notice it's a 3 of spade, though, Vince. This means that Patrick has made a flush draw, so he will win the pot. If a spade comes off, he can tie it if a 4 comes off.
This is one ugly train wreck. I don't know what's going to happen. It's not over yet.
Well, Patrick had the best hand before the flop, on the flop. Now on the turn, he's behind. He's got to get lucky and catch a card if he wants to end this tournament right now.
Here it comes.
He doesn't do it. A 10 comes off. Renee Peterson from Denmark is going to take down this pot over $16 million. And leave Patrick with only $100-some thousand left. He can't even put in the small blind.
Well, Patrick is just looking in the middle. He keeps staring at the cards. I mean, what devastation.
Sorry, man. But Vince, win, lose, or draw here, I can tell you, he's made millions of poker fans around the world with his play and his personality.
How much? 100?
Vince, this guy is like you. 20 years ago, you're a young, good-looking guy. Good poker player, tennis player, and you feel just like he does. I knew it was coming. I knew you were going to outdraw me.
This is what you got to look forward to, Patrick.
Patrick's going to be all in here for $150,000.
Well, they're just getting it all in right now, and they're going to do that time and time again here until Renee wins the pot, I guess.
I cannot believe the turn of events here.
Players turn them up. Patrick is all in pocket.
And look at this. Renee's picked up 2 8s, a big hand playing heads-up poker. He's up against King 7 of spade that Patrick has. And Patrick's got to be thinking, look, you drew out on me last time. Far worse than this. Maybe I can outdraw you here.
Here comes the first 3. You know that cliche in poker, a chip in a chair.
Oh, spades.
It's come 9-6-3 with 1 spade. So Patrick's going to have to catch a king, 2 runners to make a straight, or 2 spades to make a flush. Otherwise, he's going to be our runner-up.
Go for it.
Here's the turn. It's a 3. It pairs the board.
You know, you can hear a pin dropping here, Vince. The place has grown to love this Patrick Antonius, and they sense he's going down right now. Got to catch a king on the river. Can he do it?
You got it.
Nope. It's a jack. Well, that's going to do it. The 26-year-old from Denmark, Renee Peterson, is our champion.
Just awesome. Your heart's got to go out to the young Patrick Antonius from Helsinki. But Renee Peterson playing solid here tonight. He's our champion. He is over $2 million richer.
Let's meet our champion from Denmark. Step right on over here, Renee Peterson. Renee, I got to tell you, you have set the world on fire. You got into this event by winning a $100 satellite. You've parlayed it into a WPT title and $2 million. Certainly you got lucky on that last hand, but boy, what a show you put on here tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It was fantastic. Yeah, what can I say? I won $2 million. So.
Well, you can't say much better than that, that's for sure. And now it's time to toast our champion with Budweiser, the official beer of the World Poker Tour. Here's to the champion of the 5-Diamond World Poker Classic, Renee Peterson of Denmark. For Courtney Friel, Vince Van Patten, and everyone at the World Poker Tour, I'm Mike Sexton saying thanks for watching. And until next time, may all your cards be live pots be monsters. I don't understand what this is for.